Hey y'all, today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering all of our 28 listeners a free audio book with a 30-day trial membership. Go to audibletrial.com/PBT and browse all the unmatched selections of audio programming. Download a title free, start listening. Go to audibletrial.com/PBT. Do it.
Welcome back to another episode of Peanut Butter and Triggered. My name is Jay Eastwood. I'm joined here by my guys
Scott
and
Jacob,
and our very special edition by Tulsa's own Midnight Johnson.
Hello.
What did he say?
He doesn't speak English.
Yeah, they don't speak English over in Tulsa.
Sorry.
Okay, so Midnight Johnson is joining us by way of the old-fashioned telephone. So we are going to apologize in advance for the audio quality, but he's joining us for today's very special segment on dissecting The Watchmen, now that we have 2 episodes down. But first, we're going to jump into some news, and Scotty, why don't you take it away?
Yo, I don't have too terribly much news. First off, big news coming from from EA. EA has officially canceled NBA Live again. That's right. After apparently delaying it, they are now... they delayed it before it was officially announced, which is kind of impressive. And then they officially canceled it because 2K is better. But yeah, so that's a major, well, not major, but no more NBA game anymore.
Yeah, it's probably better that they did that, though, because it was always like the inferior product. There was like a second where it was actually maybe going to be better, only because 2K was riddled with microtransactions, and the game is basically the same thing every single year.
You know why I hate microtransactions?
Yeah.
I'm that one guy that spends all of his fucking money on microtransactions. I'm like, holy shit!
The Weeaboo skins.
No, yeah, well, no, I buy all of them. Yeah, but I'm the kind of idiot that goes, I'm like, okay, so if I spend $20, I'm only gonna get this. I was like, but I'm probably gonna end up spending $100, so fuck it, I'll just spend $100, and then like $700 later, I'm like, yeah, you know, fuck this game.
You're the perfect customer for.
Dude, I know, it's so bad. I do that with every game. I even do that with RuneScape.
Of course you do.
It's awesome.
I'm not even surprised. In other news, there's not really a whole lot of news. I didn't find anything. Oh, the reason there's not a lot of news is because I forgot about some of it. Have you guys been seeing the reviews for WWE?
I've heard that it's failed.
Like, failed is like an understatement. Like, it is, they're calling it Botchmania and a total disaster.
Jesus.
GameSpot, let's see, what was GameSpot's final? GameSpot gave it a 2 out of 10. Quote, a torrent of frequent and disruptive bugs and glitches plagued the whole experience, with numerous crashes that prevent some of the parts of the game from working at all. Combat has regressed with an unresponsive controls and terrible hit detection, and my career is dull and overlong, while the writing is often insufferable. And I saw some of the gameplay. You guys should go watch it. Terrible. Fucking terrible.
Like worse than the previous years, or just bad in general?
Actually bad in general, and I think worse from what I've seen. Like, the voice acting, it looks so cheesy. And all around, people are saying, like, online's terrible. Just in general, like, a terrible game. People are saying it's just pure, like, regression, and some of the people, I mean, I'm not a big fan of it, but a lot of people who are fans of it are saying that it's truly terrible. People are saying that there are just kind of basic problems and glitches with everything, all the modes, everything.
Damn, dude, that's
like,
how much is the game?
Harsh. $60.
I think it's $60.
That's for the regular mode.
Wow. I wonder if people are asking for like a refund or something.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
something to be
actually,
compensated.
now that you say that, PlayStation Network has started issuing refunds to people who bought it because it's an incomplete game.
Oh my god. That's almost as bad as what was that one game that or that one franchise that was making like the new Fallout game, and like if you pre-ordered it, you got like this really cool whatever, and it just looked like shit, and like it all went downhill, and I can't remember exactly what it was. I can Google it, but I think it was Fallout.
We didn't talk about this too. Did you guys hear about Fallout?
No.
No.
Fallout gets a yearly subscription, $76.
Oh man.
Now, if you guys want and you feel so inclined, if you go out to falloutfirst.com, someone actually bought it. This is the name of their actual thing, their actual subscription. Someone bought falloutfirst.com, and it's a whole thing just shitting. It's like here's the headline on falloutfirst.com: Private world, scrap boxes, and more coming to Fallout 76 with Fallout Fuck You First.
Jesus.
A couple of the things they did is they provided private servers to people who only pay, which they said that they would do a long time ago, but they put it behind a paywall. And they provided an unlimited storage, which people thought that you should have anyway. Funny thing is the private servers can be joined by anyone, and the unlimited storage actually is deleting people's items. So yeah, like things are going well over in the Bethesda world.
Yeah. I wonder if people actually enjoy that game.
I met a person who did, a customer of mine. She's like,
I know one that does.
I was like, she's like, yeah, I have 75 people in my guild, and I said, that's probably the only 75 people who play the game, to be honest with you.
You say leave.
I told her to leave immediately.
Get out.
She
Go on.
Never quit.
$99 a year for this shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what's worse than me spending a lot of money on microtransactions?
Is this?
That.
Yep. Other than that, no extensive news.
I have
Yeah,
some
go ahead.
news. Apex Legends hits 70 million players. So all those haters that said Apex fucking sucks, guess what? It doesn't. Because 70 million people love it.
Just because a lot of people play it doesn't mean it's good.
Did you
A lot of people
clap?
play
It is a good game.
Farmville.
Did you clap right before you announced that?
Yeah. I had to make sure they knew how I felt about it.
Yeah,
Listen,
clearly.
Dude, I love Apex. And I don't know why, but like Classic WoW came out. Dude, I have like, that has a special place in my heart. I played it for a while. They haven't released any more content, so I'm bored. So like I always fall back on Apex. And dude, every day I'm like, I'm going to play some WoW. And then I'm like, I'm going to play some Apex.
Jeez.
Just so addicting.
You love those two games. You know, this is oddly familiar. I remember you saying that one of our other hosts in the past only played 2 games.
Oh.
Dark Souls and something else.
Yeah, he played 2 games, and one of them wasn't even online. It was like after you beat the game, your only option was to delete it and fucking start back from the very beginning. Like, I wonder what happens next!
Who is that? Who are you trying to impersonate?
Just some loser who thinks he can cook.
Probably can cook a lot better than you, dude.
No. Do you know how much Gordon Ramsay YouTube I've watched? I average 4 hours a day of YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
I average like 2.
Dude,
It's like one of the only things I actually like. I pay for YouTube Red for
Yeah.
sure.
It's
see,
dope.
I've always, dude, recently I've been really contemplating, but like, I'm not the kind of person that I don't pay because I'm so frustrated with the ads. I literally could care less.
I like no ads, but I like also being able to play with it, having it play in the background, as well as I like I'd use the YouTube music.
That I would use too. The one thing that does frustrate me about YouTube, and I cannot stand this, and I'm sure you guys probably have the exact same feeling. When I'm watching a video on my phone, and I like
Porn.
accidentally
It's
bump
porn.
my phone or touch the screen on the side, sometimes it'll swipe over to the next video and start playing like the next video. Dude, it's so annoying. I do it like all the time.
I never do that.
Can't turn it off.
Sometimes.
Or like my phone will fall, I'll catch it and I'll like go forward like 3 videos. And I'm like the kind of person I like to start a video so it's in my history and so I can go back and watch it. Sometimes
Sure.
I'll have like 10 videos in my history that I
You can
didn't
just
even
add
watch.
them to watch later.
Shut up.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's what I do too. I add them to watch
Oh.
later. Really.
Oh.
Sometimes
Well.
though, like if I like having it in there because I'll see like a video that's on the bottom, and I'll just quickly start playing it and knowing it's in my history.
Mm.
But I'll add to watch later. I do that a lot on Facebook if I ever watch any stupid fucking Facebook videos.
You know what I think is always interesting too is to see other people's recommended YouTube videos. Kind of gives you like an idea of like if you think they'd be a good person in your life or not.
Well, exactly, because they don't hide it from anybody. You know,
Yeah.
like that's not something they expect you to look at.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you watch a lot of murder mystery, you fucking psychopath. Get out of my fucking life.
Jesus Christ.
Panda watches nothing but murder mysteries.
I know. That's who I was referring to.
So does Cody.
Yeah, but he only watches murder mystery though. Like that's the only thing he watches.
You were telling me that he's like foreign, right? That's what you said to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he moved to the U.S. when he was like in first grade. You want to know what's even crazier and even more scary? That he watches nothing but murder mystery. He's from Transylvania.
Is he really?
Yep, he sure is, and that's not a joke.
Transylvania? Wow, I didn't know people actually lived there.
I didn't even. You know what? So messed up.
They do if they're a fucking vampire.
Yeah, I almost didn't even know it was real. Like I knew it was real, but like I thought it was like one of those places like Burma that's like been renamed to like Myanmar. Like or like the Ottoman Empire. It's like
Like Holland.
yeah, well, Holland. Yeah.
All right.
What else? Anybody else have any news they want to touch upon?
No. Midnight?
Midnight has fallen off of the call. Apparently his phone was not working, and there he goes. Like,
Rest in peace. Maybe we can get him next time.
Good night.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night, Midnight.
Okay, well then I will be breaking down The Watchmen by myself. Damn it.
Or
I would like you to explain it to me because maybe I'll get into it. So maybe you could sell it to me.
I don't think you will, but we can do that.
I was trying to be open-minded, but
we can go through playing, doing, and watching. Would anybody care to start?
I'll start. I don't mind.
Okay.
You know, hey y'all, I have to tell you, there's two things I want to touch upon. First off, Jay, I have to tell you, I have actually changed one of my rating systems because of you.
Oh, great! Let's hear it.
can you
That's
push
right.
the WoW button on your board real quick?
You know what? I don't have it connected.
That's okay. I am changing my rating system for movies. That's right, for movies. You know what? I thought that you don't have to go in depth into movies, so I'm giving an A through F rating, just like Jay does. But in video games, I'm still giving a 0 to 100 because I feel like video games are more intensive. And
It's the
there's, like, more
superior
rate.
scale.
No, it's a superior scale for movies, I'll admit. And let me tell you, I actually beat Call of Duty last night. That's right, the whole game. I beat the campaign, and I loved it. And the interesting thing about it was, dude, there are actually some really interesting moral decisions you have to make. There is one part where you capture this really bad guy. He's kind of like a terrorist, and you're interrogating him, and you actually bring in his family to convince him to talk, which I actually found to be really, really interesting because it had me questioning: is it okay to, maybe hurt these good people for the greater good? I don't know. It's more interesting than something you normally do every day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave it an 80, which is a really high rating for it. You end up doing a lot of really cool missions. It's one of the most beautiful games around, in my opinion, and I really enjoyed it. I also caught up more British Baker. I'm caught up on that shit. Shout out to the people who survived. I'm kind of still upset that fast-talking lady was in, but I think she just got eliminated, if I remember correctly. The blonde.
Which fast? Oh, yeah, she just got eliminated. Rosie? Rosie?
Something like that. I'm not a big fan of her.
It's, you know what? It's gonna sound really mean, but it's a fat chick name, so it's either Rosie or Ruthie.
What a bitch.
Well, no, she's actually very sweet. She's like a veterinarian.
She's just kind of annoying to me.
I didn't mind her.
I do have a question for you, Scotty.
Okay.
What scene for you do you think was more intense? Do you remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the very first mission where you walk into the airport and you just kill a bunch of innocent civilians?
Yeah, no Russian.
Yeah. That scene or that little mission or the part where you bring in his family to interrogate and torture this guy, which one do you think better?
So, two things. There's another part like No Russian in the Call of Duty game. It takes place in Piccadilly Circus, which is a famous... It's kind of like Times Square, but in London. That is super brutal. You're cruising through, and there's your special forces in the back of this place, and or in the back of a truck, and you cruise past a white van, and they're there, they're armed, and you jump out, and you're running through all these civilians, and the van pulls up and explodes, and then a whole bunch of guys come out, and they're just like murdering tons of civilians, which is really brutal. That mission, actually, if you want to compare like apples to apples, that mission was like insanely brutal. But I have to say, No Russian is more brutal because you're the trigger man. You know, you're the one who's like mowing down the people.
Yeah.
But yeah, the interesting thing also with the family is you actually grab a revolver off the table, and you can aim the revolver wherever you want. If you want, you can aim it at the guy. You can aim it at the family. You can aim it at the little kid. And I won't give away, because I know people are going to want to play it. I won't give away what actually happens. But you do have the option. You have a couple different options you can do, and the game kind of lets you do what it's going to do.
So, question on that: so depending on what you do, because you don't have to answer, or this will avoid the answer to what happens. But are there 3 different options for which option you choose? Like, does the team take you 3 different paths?
No, I don't think so. I think the end is the same. I think the missions continue. It doesn't matter. So I don't know, because you could choose to shoot the guy in the face, just shoot him in the face and like end the interrogation. I don't know if like Captain Price will get pissed off at you or what, but I don't know.
That's cool.
But very, very good game. Online's really fun. I haven't even started Spec Ops, but I'm excited for that. But other than that, tell you guys I watched Midsummer? I think I talked about that time.
No, you talked about I think during the meeting that we had, but go on.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
So I watched Midsummer as well, from the creators of Hereditary, and I was super underwhelmed. Have you guys watched that one yet?
No.
Yeah. It's from Hereditary. It's not quite as dark as Hereditary was, and it's just the story of some like basically college kids who go to this like weird ass like Netherlands culty like place, and I can't really say much without spoiling stuff, but not that great. We got it back. A
little bit. Yeah. I'm bummed, dude. I really wanted to watch that and be like stoked on it, and I don't know, it sounds like it wasn't your pick.
Pick, it sucks. Pretty much. Well, I'll tell you, it's nothing like Hereditary. I know the reason I didn't like Hereditary that much, but I know I can understand why people enjoyed it. Like, I get that. That I didn't feel the same thing from Midsummer. It wasn't quite as it wasn't quite as shocking to me.
So would you grade it?
C- probably.
Whoa, not that great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, I wouldn't watch it again. It wasn't scary, and it really didn't do much for me.
Didn't you also watch El Camino recently?
Yeah, didn't we talk about that last time?
No.
I talked about it in the last podcast, I thought.
Did we? We didn't go in depth on that, because I finally watched it, and I gave El Camino a C-.
I don't know how you did that.
What?
Skinny Pete and
Badger?
And Badger alone are worth a whole fucking grade.
What? There was 10 whole minutes of them.
But they were so goddamn funny, dude.
Oh my, you're gonna give something an A or anything above a C- just for the 10 minutes?
No, it was just a joke. I was just saying they
thank
were really
God. Dude, okay. Here are the reasons why I gave it a C minus.
Okay.
I would have given it like a C plus if there are a couple of things that were changed. Number one, continuity. And again, these are just my nitpicks here. Aaron Paul looked a little puffy. Same thing with Jesse Plemons, and it's supposed to take place.
Jesse Plemons looks super puffy.
Yeah, it's supposed to take place right after the events of the last episode of Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy that.
You wanted them to lose some weight.
Yeah, but from what I understand, and this is of no fault of theirs, the whole thing was a very rushed process. They filmed in like a month. So it's
really?
yeah, dude, like apparently like it was just super rushed. They wanted to get a finished product out there, which hats off to them because it didn't look like it was rushed. It still looked like it was a pretty polished movie for the most part. I think, and this is maybe an unpopular opinion, but I think that it would have been better as maybe like a 4-part miniseries on Netflix rather than an hour movie. Because it just felt like a long episode, and I feel like it left more questions unanswered, or
like what
felt
questions?
maybe not unanswered questions. It just made everything feel unfinished. So Skinny Pete and Badger, if they were so great, maybe they could have deserved their own episode. In this like potential miniseries, there could have been an episode based off of Pinkman's time in the hole at the Nazis. They could have given an entire episode just around that guy that welds stuff, because he was like a complete mystery. And then they could have given like an entire episode on how Pinkman planned to get the money back, and then how he ultimately got to Alaska.
Can we definitely admit that the scenes with Pinkman kind of being tortured were like definitely brutal, and like you like watching him get beat down the way he was, like it was like depressing.
Kind of, but I can only take so much of Aaron Paul either crying or heavy breathing, and I felt like that was most of the movie. That was his motivation for the entire movie. I mean, if we're gonna call it a movie, it didn't even feel like a movie. I'm glad I watched it at home instead of in theaters.
One question that I did bring up is I wish we would have seen what happened to Walt's family.
Yeah, dude. There are so many things that I just wish were answered. And here's another thing: why did it take so long to come out with? I frequently recall having to like go back and like, oh shit, what happened to this character? I had to go like read it on Wikipedia or like some sort of like synopsis. It's like, oh yeah, that's what happened. Like I completely.
Did you watch the intro that showed you like on Breaking Bad last time?
Yeah. And this is so stupid, but I completely forgot that Jesse Pinkman was abducted by Nazis or given up by the Nazis or those neo-Nazis. Totally forgot about that.
Well,
so I give it a C minus.
C minus, dang.
Can I ask you guys a quick question?
Yes.
Because this is gonna slip my mind if I don't ask it now. Just in your opinion, what would you rate the movie Hot Rod?
I'd give it like a C plus.
Yeah, a C plus.
Okay.
What about Step Brothers? I give Step Brothers like an A minus.
I give it an F plus.
I give that a good watch.
You say an F plus?
Yeah.
You sickened me for the last time.
What? Yeah, Jay, your grading skills suck, Scott.
Yeah, right. Kiss my ass.
An F plus?
Yeah. Why? What's so bad about that? It's Bro, it's Step Brothers.
Yeah.
There's so many quotable lines. It's one of the funniest movies ever made.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, he says oh.
So you have no taste. So let's just move on from
this.
this.
Shut up. This is a guy that loves Tag. So kiss my ass.
Tag is one of the best movies that was ever released in 2000.
Oh my god, he's yelling now.
I couldn't finish that shit at all. We told you not to yell because
I know.
Boner's yelling now. That's how you know he's serious.
I'm sorry. Just please, seriously, don't talk bad about hentai. Don't talk bad about Tag, and don't talk bad about WoW, and I won't yell.
Who is that Naruto character with the blonde hair?
That is Naruto.
You look like him.
Thank you.
Did anybody ever tell you that?
I look like him.
That's why I don't get laid.
Oh,
Uh,
I
I
thought
knew
it's
it.
because
So-
you spend most of your time jerking off to hentai in your bedroom.
So that was Scotty's PDW.
Go
Are we
on.
gonna be moving on?
Yeah, can we move on? He said.
All right, cool. Jay.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go.
Yeah, okay, fine, I'll go.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to announce that I'm not playing WoW.
Oh my god, I
Well,
thought
I
he
am.
was gonna say I'm not a virgin anymore. But go on.
Damn.
No, I lost that last night.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
Playing,
I
doing,
am playing
watching.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
That's
I've
a good
only
game.
played for like so here, I have some background. This could 100% be my fault, but my drivers weren't fully updated because if you updated your driver to the newest one, Apex would crash all the time. So I was like, all right, fuck it, whatever. So I was playing COD. I've only played for like maybe 2 hours max. My game crashed 5 or 6 times, and I also had some sort of glitch where I had to turn the game or close the game and then reopen it because every time I would sprint, my frames would drop to like 5 frames, and I couldn't look. I could. It was fine going straight, but as soon as I would turn, it would drop. So it really pissed me off because I was like, dude, there's no way that the game's this bad. Like, it was like super hyped, but I googled it and not on PC, which is what I was playing, but on console, like a Xbox One X. Certain people were having really bad crashing problems.
What's that have to do with anything? You're playing on PC.
No, I know. I was curious, so I looked it up, but I knew that's how I kind of knew. I figured it was probably because I didn't update my driver, which I just did. But that's the only reason I was kind of disappointed in it. But I'm gonna play tonight and I'll see how good it goes. But I was really hyped and I just got so pissed. I was like, fuck this, I'm playing Apex.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, you can unplug that.
You can unplug it.
Doing nothing. Watching. I haven't really changed anything. I'm watching a new anime series called Gintama. It's pretty good. It's actually, I guarantee if you guys watch Gintama, just one episode, you guys would actually laugh at least one time.
Like,
So it's
ironically,
okay.
maybe.
No, dude, it's like super funny. It's more of like a comedy anime, but it also towards the end of the series gets like super serious. It's about like samurai and stuff, but that's it for me.
The
Okay.
laugh track.
Oh yeah. So I've actually watched a lot of stuff. I've done almost nothing, and I am playing a new video game. Do you all want to hear
All right,
what
so
it is?
nobody cares.
Wow.
Next segment.
No, I want to hear this video game. He
Oh.
never
So it's not going to be something that
It's a
that's
new
highly
update on the Mortal
anticipated.
Kombat.
No, dude, it's called Thumb Drift on
Oh.
mobile. This game is so fucking tight, dude. It's so simple, but it's so difficult. So you take your thumb and you guide a car that you unlock out of a variety of cars, and you basically drift it around a circuit, and you try to collect coins, and it gets faster and more difficult. So it's kind of
As
tight.
time goes.
Yeah, so any dudes or ladies out there that are into different kind of drift vehicles, there are even some wacky ones in there. Like this one's pretty racist, but it's called what was it called, Jacob? I believe I sent it to you the other day. I'll find it, but basically it's a ball of rice with chopsticks and a skull. It's called Rice Pirate. And it's literally just a bowl of rice with chopsticks sticking out, and the bowl has a picture of a skull on the front. And
I
it
don't
has
think you
2
sent
wheels.
that to me.
Oh, maybe I did. Maybe I showed it to you. I don't know. I thought it was
I think
really
you might have just shown
racist.
it to me.
Yeah,
I remember it, but I don't think you texted it to me.
it's pretty bad though.
So,
The
yeah,
game
I
is
didn't know you
hilarious.
guys, like, talked outside of work. I figured like it was one of those things where you just pass by each other here and there.
Well, we talk outside of work when we walk to our cars, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I
Are we?
didn't know you owned a car.
I actually
Jake,
own a
I thought
truck,
you
Ford
could drive.
F-150. I'm country.
I knew you had
Yeah.
a Ford F-150. I've seen it before. It's white.
Somebody said
Black.
something that was hilarious about you, Jacob. They said that you look like the type of person that's a 12-year-old kid that got to take his dad's truck out for a spin.
Who said that?
It's so true. I think it was Neb Notlaw, if I remember correctly.
I would say I'd run over him and not notice, but it's a pretty big bump. I'd probably notice if I ran over him.
Ooh, pitching a fat joke.
Hey, it's the only thing I have against him.
I don't know. I thought it was funny.
I looked at him and I was like, man, you look depressed. He was like, his face was just stone cold. He's like, yeah. I was like,
That was good.
I can't help but laugh. Okay.
So that's the game I'm playing. Highly recommend it. I give it maybe like a B-. It's definitely a time passer. And then the other thing too is that I believe if you have Google Play Pass, it's free.
I think I skipped this part. Did you say it was a mobile game?
Yeah.
Nice.
He said it's on Google Play Pass. The sentence before that.
Well, I know, but Play Pass isn't just mobile.
What else is it on?
It's not on anything else.
Mm.
I don't even know if it's on iOS. Hey, one of you iPhone dudes, can you check to see if it's on there? It's called Thumb Drift.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, do it for the people, please.
All right.
That's the only video game that I've actually been playing. I want to say, if anything, I was about to fire up an old video game because there's just nothing out there that I want to play. But I actually might buy Call of Duty, but I probably won't. But if I do, then I'll play with you guys.
Is it called Thumb Drift Furious Racing?
Probably. Is it a picture of an
orange car?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's 84 on trending. The number one arcade game, it says.
It's dope, dude.
Game.
It's dope. You guys ought to try it out.
Try it out.
Yeah, try it out.
Not sponsored.
It's not sponsored. Now, as far as what I've watched, strap yourselves in, boys, because it's about to be a bumpy ride. So I watched El Camino, which we already covered. I watched Zombieland 2. That movie...
How was Zombieland?
Wasn't disappointing, but it didn't do it for me. I'll just say that. It was a little too long. And the funny thing is there's setup throughout the entire movie on little bits and pieces that they'll reveal to be the ultimate ending for it, but it just wasn't captivating enough for me. Did you go in with the Zombieland 1 expectation,
yes, mentality of how good it was?
Yes.
And base it off of that? Okay.
Yes. Because I did think Zombieland 2 was a definite B+. I would say that Zombieland 2 Double Tap is a C+.
Oh.
The big reasons I thought that what's his name? Columbus in the movie, played by Jesse Eisenberg, he is very Jesse Eisenberg. Almost more than when he was Columbus. And then it was just kind of annoying. They're trying to make themselves a family even more so than in the first one, and they kind of lost a little bit of the comedy in it. So if you don't have very high expectations, then go. It's still an enjoyable movie. Still has plenty of laughs. And there's also a lot of different zombies, different types of zombies now. So
wow.
Definitely do go watch it for that.
Different kinds of zombies, huh?
Yep.
Like Left 4 Dead?
Kind of. They this isn't going to give anything away. They have different types of zombies, and they name each of them. One of them's called a Homer. It's called that because it's really fucking stupid. They have ninjas that are really, really silent, and then they have I think they call them Einsteins. No, they call them Hawkings. That's what they call them. They're really smart.
Do they all
highly
look the
adaptive.
same?
Yeah, they still look the same, but that's just they name them that based off of their characteristics, not their physical, but their behavioral characteristics. So,
I like that.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Something a little different.
Yeah, catch it on Netflix or something streaming. Don't. I feel bad by saying it, but it's don't go watch it in theaters. You might be disappointed.
Not that good.
No.
Not worth the $10.
No, it's not. And I feel like I watched a bunch of other shit. Damn. Oh, obviously I watched The Watchmen. I caught the first episode. Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Why didn't you say so?
I forgot about it.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
No, the new It. Oh yeah, I guess oldie kind of.
Oh, yeah.
It
So
too.
It Chapter 2. What do you think?
It was okay. I thought that like the whole allure of like Pennywise, was Pennywise. Like he is like his character and the way he acts is the part of the show that makes it amazing. And I thought we got a lot less of that. Like when Pennywise is talking to Georgie in the first movie, it's like really sketchy and like you have this. He's a character. I was telling my wife, I was like, he's quote unquote likable in that he's an interesting villain. And I felt in this, he more like just turned into a monster and attacked people. He never, in the first movie, he always built on what people were scared of. In this movie, he didn't do that at all. He just kind of like turned into I mean, the monsters were kind of cool, but he just turned into a monster and just killed people.
That sounds kind of lame.
You didn't watch it? Boner?
No, I didn't watch it.
I'd still. Would you recommend people watch it though, Scotty?
Maybe on movies, yeah, on or maybe on DVD or something or Netflix, but I wouldn't go see it.
Huh? What would you grade it?
Like a C plus. But the thing about it is it's not really. It didn't feel like the previous it did. Bill Hader's funny, but their kids, the adults are not as funny as the kids were, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah.
Like I thought Bill Hader had some funny, but a lot of the shit he said was funny only because he also said as a kid.
Right.
Like he throws back to himself a few times. Like there's one part where he's like, "What did you say last time you were here?" And he's like, what do you say?
Let's kill some
measure
fucking
dicks."
clown. Oh.
Yeah, he says that at the end, but he's like, "Let's measure dicks and see who's the longest," or something like that, which was funny in the original, and it was kind of funny that he threw back to that. But yeah, so that was my like mini review of it, I guess.
Nice, dude. I just reviewed my own sort of watching part of my playing doing watching. I completely forgot that I did watch the first episode of season 6 of Silicon Valley.
Oh yeah, I need to watch that.
Dude,
thank you for reminding me.
Dude, it's still funny. And I feel like this is gonna be like a recurring theme for some of the things that I've been watching, where they're either returning for like a new season or it's a sequel to something. I feel like the older characters are just tired and played out, and like the new characters that are introduced are often better, because like in Silicon Valley, like I'm sick of Dinesh and Guilfoyle. Like they're not funny anymore. It's the same thing. However, I do really enjoy Gabe. Not Jared.
Yeah, he's funny.
Not Jared, but Gabe. There's a guy in the office that it works directly under Dinesh on his team, and he's super annoying, and Dinesh hates him, and he's the type of guy that's always like hovering. He even wears. Have you ever seen those wearable chairs?
Yeah.
He wears a wearable chair, and he's like, "Hey, can you send me the tech specs?" He's like, "I sent it to you last week." He's like, "Yeah, but can you just resend it to me so that it's at the top of my emails?" And he's like, "It's okay, I'll wait." And then he pops a squat right there next to him. I thought that was one of the like best pieces of comedic gold ever. Jared is still hilarious, and Richard's never really been like super funny, but you can see like his evolution. He's actually pretty funny in this one too. So I definitely do go recommend watching. This is the last season, so you may get some closure. Who knows?
Maybe it might close.
Yeah. And then the last two things that I watch, I'll save the actual last one because I guess I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. I watched The Watchmen. I've seen the first 2 episodes. So I'll save that one for a little bit later. But the other one that I watched is Castle Rock, the first 3 episodes of season 2. Really cool. Just like the first season, it does introduce elements of bits and pieces of the Stephen King universe. So this is like, there are some swirling theories about the different characters there, but there are some themes and elements from obviously Misery because of Annie Wilkes being the main character, and you have Ace, who is in the novella The Body, which was adapted into a film called Stand By Me. So
Is that
Ace,
the one where they poke the dead body by the train tracks?
Yes. The train hit him so hard he got knocked out of his keds.
Wow, that's pretty tough.
Yeah. So that's all part of it. There's also a little theory out there that's swirling around about maybe somebody having to do with Pennywise the Clown, because it's revealed that he goes to one of the characters goes to Derry and comes back after he was supposedly killed, and he came back to life. And it was also through an underground tunnel system. And then lastly, I think it also has something to do with the 4 kids from The Body, because you have a kid that looks or dresses eerily similar to like Teddy Duchamp from Stand By Me, and you have like one like social outcast, you have one really quiet shy one who's kind of a bookworm, and then you have a fat one. Those are the kids from Stand By Me to a T. And then with the introduction of Ace, and I think Billy's in it too. No Eyeball though. We'll see. Actually, there's only 3 episodes in, but it's really cool because Annie Wilkes becomes like super sympathetic as a character, even though you know she's just fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm really hyped on this. It's really good so far. It didn't start off as slow as season 1 did, and if you all are after a new show to watch and you haven't seen Castle Rock at all, watch season 1, power through the first like 2 or 3 episodes because it gets really good, and then go straight on into season 2. It's definitely worth a watch. So far I give it like a B+.
Nice, that's pretty high for you.
Everybody says that. It's high for you. Damn.
All right, you want to just do a little maybe briefing on The Watchmen and tell us why it's such an amazing show that everyone on Earth has to watch it?
Yeah, I do actually. So, the cool thing about the show is that you don't have to have, you won't have to have seen the movie, or you actually don't even need to have read the comic book or the graphic novel.
I haven't done either of those.
Oh, nice. It helps.
Be good for me.
But yeah, if you wanted to watch it, it'd be worth a watch. The reason why I would say that it would be worth it is because there is one, maybe even 2 things that happen in the graphic novel or the movie that you're just kind of like, what the hell are they talking about right now? Mm-hmm. But they're really minor underlying things, because the whole idea of Watchmen is, at least the HBO series, is that it's kind of exploring the whole tension and the dynamics between, racial tensions and sort of a classist system of like haves and have-nots, and also like even smaller details of like how does technology influence how we go about living our lives, and how do the police really protect us, and should they be protecting themselves, sort of thing, set upon like a backdrop of like technology from yesteryear, like mixed with like futuristic stuff. Like everybody drives an electric car, but they walk around with beepers and pagers. There are no cell phones.
Huh. Oh, that's silly.
Yeah. Yet, like a couple of the heroes, and I'm throwing up quotes there. They have like really like sophisticated, like, I don't even know what sort of wavelength they're viewing. But they have like almost like X-ray goggles, like the kind that you see at the airport. They can look inside of all of your bags. Like they wear goggles like that, which is super cool.
But they don't have a smartphone.
They don't have a smartphone. Yeah, I think it's done on purpose. Yeah. You get plenty of ball sack. You get a blue ball sack in
Really?
episode 2. Yeah. And I want to say no, it's not in episode 1. Definitely episode 2. You get a ball sack, and actually full dong.
Wow.
Yeah. So Jacob, look no further.
I actually was falling asleep, but you said nutsack, and I actually got up in my chair, and I'm kind of interested now.
He's all excited now.
So
I'm coming.
the other thing that's interesting too would be the fact that it kind of deals with the idea of like all of these vigilantes like taking matters into their own hands. They're obviously sanctioned by like police departments and stuff, but you have to have like access to your, like if you're a police officer, you have to have access granted to you by like a third party to get access to your gun. It's so weird. And like there's like terrorist groups that compete with the police, and there are so many theories that are also swirling around out there that kind of they can make your head spin, really. Like there's a hero that is supposed to have like died, but we don't know if he's really dead, and there's another hero that maybe he fled to Mars, and you don't know if he's actually on Earth, and kind of orchestrating things. But the score is done by Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, and it's like really like gritty and like neo noir style too. So it gives you a certain feel of like tension, and there's like an ominous feeling to everything that's happening in the TV show. And you have to pay attention to every little detail because everything means something. So I don't want to go too deep into it because, again, it's only 2 episodes in. Mm-hmm. But if you're not familiar with the characters, there's this like really like godlike character named Dr. Manhattan. He's the only hero that has powers. All the other ones are just vigilantes that rely on like close quarter combat and like weapons training. But it's said that he like fled to Mars because he doesn't want to have anything to do with humanity anymore. But Midnight Johnson and I are speculating that maybe he's on Earth and he's masquerading as a few different people, and I won't say who yet, but definitely go check it out. So far, it's an A.
It's an A, you said?
An A.
Wow.
A?
An A?
An A.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised. It sounds interesting. Maybe I'll watch it, but you told me I shouldn't.
I mean, it's up to you. I think that if you're interested in really detail-oriented storytelling that can unravel a whole series of events within this like alternate universe, it's not realistic either. So don't go in expecting anything realistic, because obviously like masked vigilantes beating the shit out of people with guns and stuff, it's just not going to happen. They're going to get mowed down by guns. But it deals with corruption. It deals with and the coolest thing in this alternate universe is that it's so skewed. There's like 51 states where Vietnam was the 51st state that was annexed because of the Vietnam War conflict. The U.S. won the conflict in this alternate reality. Nixon stayed president for like 5 terms, and Robert Redford became president. It's bonkers. Like, go watch it just for the fact that it's a ridiculous concept of an alternate reality, but then you watch everything else and it's so surreal, mixed with like a whole mystery. It's fun, dude.
So you don't recommend Scotty watching it, but would you recommend me watching it since I watch anime?
Oh, dude, I forgot. I watched an anime.
Forget.
I watched an anime.
I know. I've been waiting for you to talk about it.
Is that why you've been talking about anime so much, or is that just because you? Okay, I was gonna say you talk about anime a lot, dude.
I just figured it was just regular self.
No, I'm just kind of a loser,
dude. Okay, so I'm gonna sound like a complete hypocrite. I actually really like this anime.
What anime?
It's called Sound and Fury. It's a Sturgill Simpson. It's a Sturgill Simpson like visual album. So the anime is done by it's animated by the same guy that did like Akira. So it's like old style anime. But that's not why I like it. In fact, I think that has very little to do with why I like it. The music is unbelievable. So Sturgill Simpson is like a country artist that's kind of just burst out onto the scene. and he's gotten a lot of critical acclaim because he's a really talented musician and songwriter. And then he decided to release this album. He like flew to Japan, commissioned this specific visual album with the help of the dude. I can't remember the dude's name that did Akira, but it cost like $1 million to produce, and that's just the visual part. Like the album itself cost like I don't know how much, but it was a complete departure from country music. You can hear elements of like, you know, ZZ Top. You can hear elements of like cool futuristic sounding like pre-new wave 80s music. You can still hear like some country influences. You can hear, you know, a bunch of shit like Kiss and stuff. It's an interesting take on a visual album because it still tells a story. And my favorite track on the album is called Make Art Not Friends. And Thodes, who, if you remember, he actually did a guest spot on our podcast, highly recommended it, watched it during a Halloween party, and was just captivated. Really, really lively and really lovely artwork during the anime. So I didn't jack off to it, which is fine. But
you'll get there.
There was a lot of boobs actually, and a lot of dongs in it. But so I didn't do anything like that. But I'm not gonna count it out.
A recommendation.
I gave it a solid B+.
Wow.
Since we're on the topic of anime, just quick question: have you guys ever watched the movie Titan AE?
No.
No.
Oh yeah,
No?
I think that Disney movie. I think.
It's not a Disney movie; it's a Fox movie. It came out in 2000. It's an animated movie about like a guy in space. It's pretty cool. I just didn't know if you guys would have watched it because it was a pretty good movie.
A long
But-
time ago.
What's it about?
I honestly haven't watched it in years. But it was. Yeah, I mean, I used to watch it when I was a kid. But it's just like a guy in space, and like it's kind of like Star Wars, and like it's not the same, but the like idea of it is like imagine Han Solo in Star Wars, like he's a human in space with interacting with a bunch of aliens and stuff. It's the same thing, but anime.
Nice.
The more
Yeah.
you know. A recommendation from Jacob.
Yeah, go watch it. It's good.
Titan AE.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey,
All right.
Jacob, you
Yeah.
you have a new segment that you'd like to introduce, right?
Oh boy, do I.
Clap for us. Okay.
Okay, I said clap. Don't jack off.
Yeah. That's a little weird.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So, new segment. What this is? It is TV series that we watched at an older time that got rerun in the future, like years later, or the series was ended and they wanted to continue the series and with like a different generation of people. And then after they continued it, it just sucked dick. Like it was totally just getting stretched on for like revenue or just like whatever other bullshit, but like something that just absolutely took a dump after it finished its original series.
Okay, so that's a lot of talky for reboots with Boner.
Yeah, so do you want to hit it off first, Jay?
No, I thought you were going to talk about Naruto since we'd been teasing
I will.
it.
I will. All right. So this is mostly what made me think about it. Actually, I was at work with Midnight, and I was like, "Hey man, like I know you like Star Wars. Do you want to talk about it?" I was like, "Maybe like the new episodes." He's like, "Oh no, those are garbage." And he's like, after the number 7, like they just all sucked. And I was like, man, there's a lot of shows like that. And then it just made me think of Naruto, how Naruto is just this, it's considered one of an anime, it's called one of the big 3, which is one of the big 3 anime that aired in like then like late 90s and finished like mid or like 2010 to 2015. But after that finished, after the animation finished, they continued on with his son Boruto, and they just basically ruined. Yeah, I know. See, even the name is dumb. Like they couldn't even
Did they
pick
call
a
it
better fucking name.
Boruto?
They are so bad at picking a fucking name for his kid. They're like, oh, what should we call him? Let's call him Boruto. Like, just fucking sounds stupid.
That's like naming your kid like Lakob or something.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, exactly. And dude, they go against like everything that you grew up watching this anime, and like Naruto, he couldn't fucking walk on water. You had to watch 40 episodes of this kid learning how to fucking walk on water. And the second goddamn episode of Boruto, this bitch already knows how to do Rasengan, which is a very, very, very hard move to do. You cannot just learn.
Is that where you suck your own wiener?
It's it's where you actually can put your ribs in your back, and then you can suck your dick because you don't have any ribs. Exactly.
That's what it's called. That's a technical term.
It is, but you have to watch the hentai in order to understand what I'm talking about. But
I thought they get tentacles to do that for them.
I mean, Boruto's not there yet, man.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Naruto finished at that point, but Boruto, maybe towards the end of Boruto, there's gonna be a lot of tentacles and a lot of Oyasumi.
What?
Oh my god.
That's just the Japanese thing. But so
I gotta get that on a cart. I gotta get that as a soundbite.
But basically, like, you have Naruto, the main character, Naruto series, just dying to fucking what's called fodder in anime, which are just like they're just like the fucking people that you just like murder. You're like, oh, we can't kill anybody. Fuck, let's kill this guy because nobody cares about him. Naruto just gets his ass kicked, and it's just super bad. And it's more of like a meme now. Like, if somebody likes Boruto, they're like an actual fucking loser.
And not just like a perceived loser.
No, not like when you're talking to your friend, like, oh, dude, you're a loser. Like, they're just the fucking losers, the scum of the earth.
The scum of the earth.
So,
they are.
What would you rate, or what would you grade Boruto?
I would give it a good watch. I'd watch it.
What?
Oh my
You
god.
just spent
fucking
5 minutes.
Don't watch
bagging on
Boruto.
it.
It's
Okay.
fucking dick. Do not watch Boruto. It is so fucking bad.
It's boring.
It's fucking boring. If I was like, hey, if I was talking to either of you two who don't watch anime, and I'd say, and you're like, hey, what's a good anime? I would say anything except for Boruto, because Boruto sucks dick.
Anything.
They kind of doom themselves by naming it Boruto.
They do. Like, that's just like a red flag right there that you probably shouldn't watch it.
Jesus.
And Jay, did you have anything else? You said you might want to talk about something else that kind of brought your attention when I said that.
Oh no, I was just thinking of like the endless possibilities, but I guess off the top of my head, like, did you guys ever watch Total Recall?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So, super classic sci-fi movie, came out in like, was it like 1987 maybe? I'm going to find out when it came out. Starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's about a dude that lives on Mars. And he basically has to uncover, like, he had like an alternate life, and he had memories implanted and stuff. And all of this was orchestrated by some asshole named Cohagen, and he wouldn't give the people air. And it was a really dope-ass sci-fi action flick. And in fact, I want to say that there was like a bunch of like different like quotes and stuff from Total Recall, tons of different concepts about people. Like, it was 1990, but it tons of like different sort of like games that have come about, or not necessarily just games, but like Red Faction. That was totally a Total Recall idea.
Copy,
yeah. Because like there's a bunch of like heavy machinery that resembles a lot of the machines that they use in the,
they're both on
the
Mars
movie.
too, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so dope movie. It didn't try to take itself too seriously. Then along comes this motherfucker named Colin Farrell. Tries to take on the role of the main character that we saw in the original 1990 film. His name is, I think it's Douglas Quaid. Douglas Quaid. And, yeah. Oh, dude, that's like one of the best parts. When Quaid finds the little alien baby in the guy's stomach, and he's like, Quaid, open your mind.
I really wish I could if anyone would understand the reference, like, I wish that I could take my son and put him on my chest for like Halloween. If like my son actually could comprehend going Quaid,
Open your mind.
That deep.
Yeah.
That makes me so funny.
Oh man, I have the stupid clip playing right in front of me right now. The prosthetics and like the practical effects look terrible too, man. They really do look terrible. There's been a bunch of like YouTube I want to say it's like YouTube recreations and remixes and stuff that show this for like a 10-hour loop.
Dude, I love those videos. They're so troll.
all 10 hours of them.
And it's
This is gonna be a good segment.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger just looking into a prosthetic baby's face. Anyways, so there's this movie's complete with a prosthetic baby and a chick's head exploding and a lady with 3 boobs and a prostitute with her face melting. So you can imagine it's a pretty dope movie. But
Super dope.
I think the reboot came out in like 2013 maybe. This is just again off the top of the dome. Let me see if I'm right. 2012. Fuck, I was wrong. Damn. But it sucked. It was it felt like it didn't feel completely done. It felt like they just relied on star power, and there was like almost none of the action and even like fewer amounts of practical effects. It was starring Colin Farrell as Douglas Quaid, Kate Beckinsale as Laurie Quaid, which was originally portrayed by Sharon Stone, Jessica Biel as Melina. It was fucking crazy. Bryan Cranston was Velos Cohagen, the guy that didn't give any of the people air. Yeah, Cohagen, give the people air.
Quick question, because I feel like this might be a very common thing with like that kind of formula too. When that movie was coming out, was everybody like super hyped about it because of how like hyped they were about the original version?
No. I don't think a lot of. I think a lot of people assume that this was the original.
Oh,
Really?
so Boruto starts off with the very first 20 seconds. It's just quick, but the first 20 seconds, it's actually in the future of Boruto.
Oh, nice.
And like the whole like village is destroyed, and Naruto's like gone somewhere. We still don't know what happens to him, but basically says that like he's fighting somebody, and this guy goes, "I'm gonna send you where I sent the 7th Hokage, which is Naruto." And so like, dude, it just like draws you in. You're like, "Oh shit, Boruto's gonna be fucking lit," and it sucked.
Jesus.
But I didn't know if they did that too. Like it was like they're like, "Oh, dude, this is gonna be dope because like it was so good back then, and this is like gonna be it, but better and newer." And then it just sucks.
You know what? I think I remember like there was hype about it. They teased like that it was going to be as good as the 1990 one because like I think they even showed like in the commercial there was some chick with 3 boobs. So that was in there. So it was kind of a callback to the 1990 movie, but I mean it's not anywhere near what it should be. And here's something I didn't know: the story was actually by Philip K. Dick. So,
Dick.
Yeah. So it's that was one that was super embarrassing and super underwhelming.
His mom married the wrong guy, and she gave him the wrong middle name. But
damn,
Did the marry the wrong guy?
it's his name's actually Philip, K. Dick.
You guys know that Philip K. Dick is like very accomplished, right? He's the guy that did like Blade Runner.
Ah, fuck that guy.
Are you
That
kidding
movie's
me?
terrible.
What?
The
He
new
probably
one,
made Boruto.
No,
The new one
dude.
was fucking terrible.
You guys are out of your mind. This guy's like critically acclaimed. He did like A Scanner Darkly. Let me go to this fool's like
I don't trust the
Wikipedia.
critics, dude. I don't trust the critics.
Oh
Yeah,
my
look at his
God.
last name. You trust a guy with the last name K. Dick?
I trust a guy with his last name Boner.
Yeah, but this is German.
I don't
Das
trust
German.
That's German for very good looking young boy.
I thought it was German for boner.
No, it's German for fucking like my relatives are probably like whores or something.
I thought you were
Oh.
like Russian.
Yeah,
No,
I
not
thought.
Russian.
Didn't your girlfriend make fun of you in a very racist way and call you Russian?
Yeah, my girlfriend goes, because my mom's last name is Petric, which is Croatian. She goes, "Oh my god, I'm dating a fucking Russian," and I was like, "Your family is from Italy." I was like, "They're like literally across the water, like is like from Croatia is Italy."
Your point was that they were as close to Russia as Croatia was. Like Italy is
Yeah.
as close to
You're
Russia
saying
as Italy is.
I could swim across the water faster than somebody could run to fucking Russia. That little body of water.
Yeah.
I think you'd die.
Yeah, I think you'd
No,
die
I'd
too.
make it. I'm Croatian, dude.
That
You
sounds
look
like one of
Croatian,
those
too.
dumb, like, targeted t-shirts. I can make it, dude. I'm Croatian.
Yeah,
And a couple of thumbs
Face-
pointing,
face
animated
ad,
thumbs. Yeah.
Links in the description, guys.
Yeah.
Links in the
That's all that I have for fucking reboots with Boner. What about you, Scott? Do you have any reboots that you have a gripe with?
I don't have any reboots. The only reboot, not reboot, but I'm just gonna say this: the Resident Evil movie was fucking terrible when they went game to movie. I'll just say that. That's all I got because
I'd
that's
count
what
it.
bothers me.
Yeah.
Like
I'd
Mila
count that.
Jovovich was fucking terrible.
Yeah. Reboots and fucking adaptations and sequels. I think we should include all of that.
Yeah, that whole thing, and the fact that they made like several movies, like 4 or 5 of them, and none
Yeah.
of them like were even close.
Yeah, they weren't even close. I think the one thing that would look kind of close though was Nemesis.
I
Do
didn't
you
even
remember
see
that?
that one.
I saw it.
I know what Nemesis is, but I don't know. I never watched the movie.
I've seen all of them. I thought that Nemesis actually looked pretty damn close to what he looked like in the movies.
What about was he placed similarly?
No,
How
not at all.
It's just he's
Not
just
at all.
kind of there.
Yeah. You know how like in the game, like the Nemesis is like a tyrant with like a progenitor virus.
Yeah.
It's like one of the characters in the previous movie that got injected with like a T virus sample and mutated him.
Dude, imagine how badass it would have been if they would have made Resident Evil like actual Resident Evil movie. It was someone stuck in a mansion, and she turns the corner, and you just hear that click, click, click of the hunter,
Yeah.
and like a hunter just comes screaming and ripping. And there's even in Resident Evil 1, there's like this one part where you read this guy's diary where he descends kind of into the madness of
That was my
turning into
favorite
a
part.
zombie, and that would have been amazing in a movie too. But instead, they have fucking this terrible movie.
Damn.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Okay, Forrest Gump. Well, I think it's about time we give our shout-outs and dedications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wrap this bad bitch up.
Shout out to my wife. Shout out to Josh, Jackson, Robbie, Patrick, Raven, Cat. That's all I got.
Jacob.
One thing to say about Josh, by the way, shout out Josh, but you better listen to the fucking the ending because we shout you out, and sometimes you only watch the first 15 minutes, but we still love you. But shout out Jackson, Josh, my mom, my dad, my other dad, and Kylie.
Neat.
All right, JBs.
I'm gonna take back both of those shout outs to Jackson because he sympathized with your rating system, even though it looks taint.
Ooh.
I am going to shout out Jacob's mother, Ben's mom. I'm going to shout out Patricia. And then I'm going to take back that shout out because Patricia complimented and is a fan of Jacob. And then I'm going to shout out Katie. I'm going to shout out Thodes. And I'm going to shout out Javad. And that's all I have to say about that.
Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for being here. We love you. Goodbye forever, except for maybe next week. I don't know. I'll be in California, so maybe we can make something work.
Yeah.
I might have to call in. But...
Yeah. Let's do it. All right. Cool.
All right, y'all. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good life.